Bring back. Bring back. Bring back. Bring back.
Hey traders, welcome to the Sunday stream, the rollback stream. We're rolling back, dude. We're rolling back in time. We're rolling back on price. This is not Walmart though, so I don't know, man. I mean, you know, bearish and golden candle confirmed 8 minutes ago. Now this is different. This is always controversial when we get around this time, isn't it? Because like, I never know what to do with the stream, like the stream time. Like, do I show up? It's 6 p.m. Eastern now for power hour, or just keep it going like this? I never know. No clue. So, you know, what can you expect on the weekend, man? It's up and down. It was up and then it was down. Like Saturday, a little bit up and a little bit down today on a Sunday. But now it is technically Monday Universal Time, UTC. And Bitcoin could never break that 21,500. Not yet. And I think you're just kind of, I mean, maybe you come back test 20,378, 20,400 for a back test, but you know, anything above 19,891, I mean, you're cautiously optimistic, right? God, none of my buttons work. I hate this, dude. I put my computer in sleep mode and everything breaks. No hotkeys. God, I feel like I'm a keyboard warrior noob scrub playing World of Warcraft or something, man. As a streamer. But that's it. I mean, do we go to the 4 hour? I guess we can. Excuse me. Holy. Good God, man. I can't get it together. This is so bad. So bad. Like, when you don't have the things you've had for 5 years overnight, kind of sucks. Okay, so 21,000. Just, I think I had this plotted at my other place and it saved. Yeah, man, just a pullback. Who cares? You're fine. All the altcoins still fine. All right, go to Ethereum, hit that supply line and failed. Supply line from the daily. Couldn't break it, could you? Look at this. I mean, this is like unreal. Uncanny. All right, get back in the charts, man. Just get, like, everything but charts, right? I just want to, like, post charts and look at them. And I have to deal with all this other crap on the side. This ancillary stuff. It's annoying. So 1 and 2 and 3. And now 4. Right, I got to deal with, like, phlegm in my throat, clearing it, make sure my throat's clear for y'all so I can articulate this stuff well enough. 2 days. 2 days. The 4th and the 5th equally failed to break the 200-day simple moving average and that supply line at the same time. You've rolled over. You haven't seen negative momentum on the daily since September 29th. Wow, it's been over a month, man. Been like 5 weeks since we've seen negative momentum. We can see that. If you can't break this level, right, and see the macro craps out, right? Facebook laying off thousands of employees. Twitter, who's next, man? You know, all the hiring freezes have happened, right? Now we're like, Tesla started it, so Zuckerberg's like, all right, I guess we have the excuse, and we're not going to catch much, blowback if we do it too now, because we weren't the first ones. And it's like, now is Google going to start the mass layoffs? I mean, tech. You just got to look at the tech stocks to see why they're going to be laying off thousands of people and why the layoffs are not over. Like, we'll get more announcements this week. You'll see. So, I mean, if you can't break this, why not 1420 for a back test? Possible. But that means Bitcoin has to go to 19,891 again, probably. Good Lord. All right, so that's where you are. You are at a very critical area. You can clearly tell. You're at some sort of supply line. This technically overbought in a downtrend. A downtrend that's been going on for about legit a year. That's where the top anchor point of this trend line is. Okay, BNB, different story. Something's crazy going on in BNB. Now, maybe not anymore because of the sell-off we had going into the weekly close. But on BNB, you had broken a key inflection point and you were above it before I went out. See, like, you were above this level, now you're not. And this is you might be up thrusting. Just know where you are. Be cognizant of the fact that you're in an inflection zone now. You've attempted to break it. You made your highest levels since May, which is incredible. But this is where you could reverse. I mean, a mass reversal. The good news is there's no, like, bearish edge. Nothing's implying that buyers are exhausted. Right? It's just bullish convergence. Okay, it's like one wave up. Normally your first wave, okay. You pull back, reset the oscillators, and you run again. And normally on that second run, second wave up, is when you get the bearish divergence. You don't have that right now. So it's good resetting. And I mean, if you could hold 330, that'd be legendary, man. Holding that as support could be incredible. And I'm saying, like, if you could sustain prices above 330 to 350 long enough, you could be going to 430. That's the target. Straight up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. I mean, that's it. So if it's real life, why could it not go to 430? It could. It would. Just all depends on the macro, man. And well, you just like have concerns, man. You're not bullish. I mean, you're cautious because, like, Bitcoin has been outperforming tech stocks. Bitcoin has almost always been a tech stock in its price action and its performance and its movements and how it reacts and responds to the macro, it is a tech stock, but not lately. For some reason, Bitcoin broke above 19,891 while all the tech stocks started crashing. And I'm talking like legitimately crashing. So you're trying to ask me what's coming next when something that almost never happens, if it ever has, where there's just all of a sudden this major divergence in price action between tech stocks and Bitcoin, and I guess a lot of crypto. I don't know, man. That's a wild occurrence that we don't see often. So structurally, things look pretty sound and good on Bitcoin for maybe some more upside. But like the question is Bitcoin and crypto just going to start randomly re-correlating back with trash tech stocks like it always has? If it does, then yeah, Bitcoin's screwed, everything's screwed, right? But like if everything stays as it is right now, where everything's decoupling from each other, Bitcoin's got a chance to keep going. So and I think really in the end, all of it stems to this, the volatility index. They are suppressing the crap out of this, but it's still not it's making a higher low still, right? Still a higher low. Higher lows until below 19. It's like this has never happened before in history, from what I've read. The way the volatility index is doing this, while you look at market drivers, they're talking about the largest market cap stocks in the world are doing this. Like they're like crashing, almost hitting measured moves. Yeah, okay, at 3.78%. Guess what? Your most volatile up days are going to happen in massive downtrend bear markets. Yeah, you're going to get 3.7% up days in bear markets. So buyers on Friday defended that level from September 2020. The candle close was above it. That's nice. So it just probably all depends. It maybe doesn't even depend on this anymore. But it used to always depend. Like, what's Google going to do? What's the QQQ going to do? That's probably going to determine the outcome of where Bitcoin goes. But lately, that's not been the case at all. So, just living in very interesting times as of late. Can't see the prices. Yeah. Sorry. I just got back. I don't live here right now. I hope you understand. I do not live where I'm streaming from right now. I'm living in a freaking hotel. So, nice hotel. I mean, good stuff, right? But it's very, very disruptive and not ideal. So let's BNB, then XRP. Let's look at XRP. Somehow it's up today. It's up 0.49%. It just stuck. It's range bound. It's consolidating after the big 70% pump sideways. But sideways is good. It's after an impulse up. So I dig that. I'm okay with a massive impulse up and then sideways consolidation. I'm okay with that. No problem with that. Way better than you dump and then you consolidate after a dump. But yeah, either way, after a pump or a dump, when you have lower highs and then higher lows and you form this triangle, this symmetrical triangle, this is a neutral structure. Neutral, not bullish, not bearish, neutral. So not at the bottom of the triangle nor the top. So good God, this is like gambling slot machine territory on XRP, really. All right, so just looking at it, it's the fourth largest crypto market cap out there. Let's make sure, let's audit this, make sure we're good again. I haven't checked the market caps in a minute. Whoa, dude. The freaking night mode, my God. XRP, Doge, Cardano. Wow, Doge is now a larger market cap than whatever was supposed to be next. Sol. Doge just had its lowest daily candle close since October 28th. So it's the lowest candle close of the month of November. Just resetting those oscillators, it's really not bad. I mean, it's just elevated, but I mean, to think, if you look at like an impulse and then you get this, yes, everything's resetting. You're catching a reset. Man, God, dude, you have to reset when you go to 91 on the daily RSI. It's going to happen. So it's been relatively mild still. And you just got to wonder, is anything up here going to hold as support? I mean, what do you think this low here would hold? I mean, 11.11 cents or something like that. Got to wonder if something will be back tested as support one of these valleys here. But yeah, the 4 hour looks kind of doomish. Doesn't really look good, man. It's almost like if you take out the wicks, it's like a head and shoulders. But I don't know if I trust that either. And again, I don't know what's wrong with my Streamlabs. I can't fix that the chat's so broken like that and it keeps spamming. But like, you know, if you're just using, you know, a little bit of open-mindedness here, you could kind of see, like, you have like a slanted neckline, you got the, but then you broke it. Like, you have a, again, you can't put too much weight on it, but dang, man, after a huge pump like that, the buyers tried again, and now they've tried once more, and now clearly there's less market participants owning Doge than there was at the beginning of the month, and the neckline was broken, right? I mean, that's a slanted head and shoulders confirmed with candle close on the last 20 minutes ago. You fall into the bearish control zone on the 4 hour, you know, not that big a deal, but it's just something to think about, right? FTX, yeah, something was going on with FTX. Oh. The FTT chart. Let's give me a sec. Let's go over to total real quick. To total, Jonathan, how do you feel about tech stocks and Bitcoin decoupling and the sovereign debt crisis and currency crisis and the inflation and cost of living crisis, energy, all of it? What do you think, Jonathan?
I like turtles.
Thanks so much, Jonathan, for your feedback.
There's bears out here.
Okay, so total didn't have a good day. It closed pretty bad, but still above that 959 key level we've been paying attention to, like hawks, right? Still hasn't, I mean, you know, you're fine kind of until you make a lower low than your November 3rd low. So just, you know, you go up and you go down, man. Nothing too bad yet. I think that's your cutoff, though. I don't think you want to see total market cap fall below 959 billion again. I don't think you want that because the downside potential, you know, where it could take you to 838. So let's stay above that. Let's hold. Everything's fine for now, even though, yeah, it was pretty blah. But it's the weekend, man. It's the weekend. I don't know. People, is FTX fine, man? No, dude, it's not fine. It's fine. It's not fine. It's screwed. It's not screwed. Let's take a look at the chart. FTX on Binance. I'll tell you one thing. This thing, I don't care what's going on with its news or whatever. All I can do is tell you this thing does look like it's about to collapse. Now, of course, Bitcoin, when it's hitting 18.8, all these times over the past 6 weeks, 2 months, it looked like it was going to collapse too. But now you've got this weird news thing, and you got to see this chart. This is not a joke of a chart. This is real. Look at this. FTT. This is the FTX token on Binance. The inflection point from May of 2021, June, July, right? Then you had June of this year, and then you had September, October, and now November. And buyers have been defending this. For dear life, they've been defending it. But this news-driven catalyst occurred, and this caused a massive drawdown. Well, it was a bad day on price, but also the volume involved with the selling gave you your highest level of volume in 13 months, or almost 13. Let's just say it's a year in 3 weeks or something, your highest volume spike on selling, and that selling is just somehow gotten you below that initial inflection point from May 2021. So you have a daily candle close bearish breakdown. That happened October 20th, but as you can see, the next few candles, no follow through and right back above 2261. So you better be paying attention here. This is where, I mean, I'm just saying, if this doesn't hold, you get looking left, there's nothing here until $4.58. Nothing. I'm not making that up. You don't even have to believe me. You just look left. That's normally like the way I try to do technical analysis. Like, you don't even have to trust me or believe me. Just look left. That's how I developed the argument, you know? So if this doesn't hold, man, the downside is almost unlimited. It's like crazy. You're talking like 80% downside breaking this support. It was that case with several different assets. I mean, total 3 market cap looked like this. CZ will keep dumping for months of this token. Oh, dang, man, that's not really what you're looking for. So it's not something I would ever want to. I get it, like buy low, sell high, buy at support, or as close to PCZs and supports as possible. But in this situation where it's like all this weird insolvency, sketchy stuff, and then that volume spike on a dump in the daily close below the support, I'd be really careful. If you own FTT, you better be really careful, man. You better have some sort of stop set up, because when you're making multi-year lows, almost multi-year, okay, 1 year and 10-month lows, and that's like just a few percent away, there's no support that would keep you from collapsing. So I just careful here. Very, very careful. I get it though. Look, it's the same. There's a harmonic here, man. But now the harmonics, like, here was your type 1, your type 2 of the harmonic if it was going to be one, and there was your follow through, and then you're like dumping hard. That's not strong. That's not good. You don't want to be coming back to these supports like that. But you haven't. You're right. You know where you are. Let's pay attention to it. Have your alerts set up. My God, if you hear a beep on FTX hitting $21 and change, I'm gonna ping everyone, about it. It's awful. Okay, so that's it. FTX, Doge, what was it? Oh, Matic. Yeah, Matic's made a huge bump in the run. Wait, what? In the rankings, excuse me. Matic now will be in the rotation of an asset we always look at, and this thing, super strong. So much reaccumulation was going on this asset in the end. And then it started testing 98 cents again. It's like, if you break 98 cents, where are we going? 120. What'd you do? You went to 120. You went a little bit higher than that, but not where traders are settling up. The traders are settling up with the candle close below that level after testing it, right? So I'd say this support resistance was very, very good to have identified here, because you went straight to it and you're still at it below it, but so strong that it's up 3% on the new day. Bitcoin is not up 3%. Bitcoin's trying to just not roll over here. This is very strong. Very, very strong. This is the Disney partnership, and now something else with another company. It's pretty wild. Matic. Above 120, 125 is 163. So 170 is your next resistance if it broke. Super strong. Like, you think about what Bitcoin did, if this was the Bitcoin chart, it would have come down, not even kidding, it would have come down here. You'd be like around here. That's what it was. So strong. There's so much demand, not enough selling pressure, that the market participants could never push the price down to where Bitcoin went on its own respective chart. Sheer outperformance, and now any sort of bullishness on Bitcoin, look how much the bullishness and the outperformance continues, right? You can see more of it. It's really, really nice right now. A nice uptrend. You are uptrending. Bull trend, Matic, at least midterm. Above the 200. You want to see something else that's interesting? We have a confirmed golden cross that was on October 26th. Golden cross, man. When's the last time you had a golden cross on Matic? You want to know? You want to be for real and know the last time a golden cross occurred on Matic was in January 2021, before it went to insane all-time highs, 1,000%, gains. So that's just happening again, and I'm just here identifying the occurrence of that happened, a couple weeks ago or whatever. But it's there, and it's not there on many assets. Maybe some are starting to turn the corner where they're about to start showing golden crosses, but very few. I'll show you another one that's right at it, and you're going to be surprised. Chainlink. Here, let me show you here. Chainlink's getting closer and closer to a golden cross. I mean, I would say if the price action doesn't get terrible, like tragically terrible in the next week or two, I would say that within the next week, within the next 7 days, probably it'll be like in 7 days from now, like you'll get an actual golden cross, but hasn't looked like that in a very, very long time. And you gotta love this being above a major inflection point from history, where there's very little price action except straight up, down, up, down, up. If you stay above 731 long enough, I think you're definitely gonna see 960, but then maybe eventually, you know, you go to 1120 to 1140 up there. But this is like, for now, it looks like you're trying to show accumulation. Are you not trying? But yeah, I'm cognizant of it being a rectangle, but a rectangle that within it is showing higher lows, higher lows. And just being above your 200-day moving average is a rarity in itself. I think that's awesome. I think we had, I can't remember, patrons, I posted some of those charts last night, you know. Matic partnered with Meta and JP Morgan. Gotcha. Yeah. Well, people were bringing up both names. I didn't know, and I didn't want to, like, you know, be pretentious and say the wrong thing. Okay. So yeah, you don't, like, just comparatively, like Bitcoin, it's not even close, man. Not even close. Like, hey, it's really good though. I mean, it's never a bad thing, even if you're just terribly below that 200-day moving average. It's really nice that you're getting a bullish crossover on the less significant moving averages. The 20 is the yellow and the purple is the 50. You have, I mean, the price is above those moving averages, and in the 20 bullishly crossed over the 50, which is, again, I just call that a bullish crossover, and that's solid. That's where you want to be, at least short term, midterm. Now, what you want eventually to see is everything, all of them converge, and then the 20 and the 50 bullishly cross over the 200, and then the 200 starts upsloping. I don't. There are a couple. I can't remember off the top of my head. Maybe Algo. Algo's getting there. Algo's really nice, getting close to the bullish crossover of both those moving averages. And I don't really look at it that much, but I think this is like, these are the times, man. Like when you've just been in this downtrodden market for a year, things are bottoming out, or at least short term trying to bottom out for a little while. You know, the moving averages can maybe be a little bit more important here in this situation. See where so you're above like all the moving averages. Algo's price above all the moving averages. Most are not like that, right? So it's just an interesting characteristic compared to everything else, right? Let me remember. See here. What was I looking at? No. Is there anyone that was? I spammed a lot of charts last night. Yeah, Algo looked good. Uni was interesting. Yeah, Uni.
Hey Michi, stock market seems to be on the brink of collapse. People will be looking like a John Travolta meme wondering how we got here. Literally wrecked. Anyway, good thing we have Pulse Malone Doge Chain token NFT coin to save us. Thank the gods.
Yeah, I mean, market's scary bad. There's like a analog chart of the VIX from 08 and to now, and it's like we're going down one more time. And if it followed history to a T, which probably won't, who never does, man, but if it did, the next move for the VIX, maybe after a little bit more down, is the spike of all spikes where pandemonium begins. So does anyone have that? Post that in general. I can post. I'll show you on the stream if someone posts it in general and pings me. But you know what I'm talking about. It's out there in Twitter and stuff. But yeah, you got like Uniswap. Oh, it pulled back, but it did break above a key inflection point, a candle high close back from September 2020. It did break this downtrend it's been in forever. But it also had a golden cross like yesterday, 2 days ago. Lagging indicator, and then you got both the 20, the 50 crossing over the 200, which again just doesn't happen that often, but it's nice. But I get it, man. Like if the market collapses and the VIX pumps, there's no way any of this is going to play out. It's like the romance of even the harmonics that we've identified, just it won't happen. It's just going to be gloomy, sad days, because everything's going to correlate to one. When that VIX spikes above 35, 40 plus, it doesn't matter. No asset is safe unless you've bought puts or you're short. Nothing will go up when the VIX spikes, and that's what I worry about. Like even with the DXY being so elevated, I mean that hasn't really been too bad for Bitcoin lately. But man, it's the VIX that will keep. The VIX is the kryptonite of. The VIX is the kryptonite of itself. It's the kryptonite of crypto. But it's also the kryptonite of gold, silver, spot, cotton futures, gasoline, everything, dude. When that goes up and it spikes, everything will dump. Yeah, it doesn't matter how beautifully painted the bullish Gartley would be painted. It would fail, right? There's nothing can defeat elevated VIX spikes, right? Like here, the SNX. I mean, this is like. I think this is the most spectacular Gartley that exists in cryptocurrency right now on any chart anywhere in the world. Shiba Inu has a nice one, still just not as pretty as this one. Something so dream state. I just call this dream state because of how perfect it looks. You would like open a textbook and there's a Gartley and then this would be in it. Not even this could play out if the VIX goes berserk, which it will at some point. They're suppressing it with options. I just don't know how long that's going to last. But dang, man, you just can't really get mad if you have pocket aces pre-flop. You have a really good hand. Yes, this is pocket aces. For swing trading, position trading, this is pocket aces pre-flop. You can't really be mad if some sort of crazy event in the macro happens, which is the flop, and the flop someone hits, trips or a straight or a flush, and you're just still there with an amazing pre-flop hand, but it lost its value because of, well, I mean, the world collapsing economically, financially. So you can't really beat yourself up, because in normal market conditions that are not black swan, identifying something like this can be extremely lucrative and can change your life. So you just got to understand that's why you're in good shape here above 240, extremely good shape. But yeah, I mean, that's where we are. Bitcoin can't really catch bids on the new week so far, and I just don't know how you will with if we're going, like it really we got the futures back open, and where these are. I mean, this is bad. Virtually had your lowest daily candle close the entire bear trend on Thursday. Friday, what happened on Friday? Definitely not what you want to see, okay? I mean, on Friday, market participants pushed the price to just, again, successfully back test 10,939. What is that? It's a candle high close from 2020, candle low close from 20, like a bunch of different valleys and peaks. Inflection, right? That's what happened. That was Friday, and here we are on the new day, new week. And you're down 0.56%, and there's very little below you. There's just not much support anymore. You've run out of it, and that's the case for a very, very long way down. So yeah, these are just not, I mean, like, even if these harmonics play out on Bitcoin and crypto, which they look great, I mean, a lot of them that just look like, wow, if they played out, you can't be surprised. But knowing the macro and what's going on outside of crypto, technical structural developments, which is about it, because it's not like, oh man, something so good with crypto is going on, it's not, it's just the technicals. But like with this going on, it just hurts your argument. It makes your argument just not as strong. Like you would want you'd like the technicals to be good on the NASDAQ. You'd like things to be, the macro to be good, to be looking for the strongest long, reversals, like, bullish reversals. Just, it'd be a better environment, Yoon going moon? What are you talking about, Yoon? Jeffrey Yoon's going moon? What? Excuse me. So yeah, I just like not really. We're still like just. I mean, the S&P is kind of okay because it's not below those inflection points yet, but it's technology, or it's really you know I'm about to play. Or am I?
Technology.
Yeah, still above the levels, 3,600, but you could never really break that local supply line, which is pretty pathetic. So I guess we'll see what happens. But this is futures, and it's down 0.41%. Not a great start, but again, you shouldn't really give a crap about what's happening in the futures too much, because normally the inverse opposite happens the next day. I mean, it just so many times it'd be like, oh, this looks so bad, and then like the bids come in, market open.
BTC 12 hours Class A bearish divergence.
12-hour bearish divergence. Yep, definitely. Now, yeah, in the past day, it's developed. What's disappointing about the bearish divergence that's there is the fact that this 200 moving average, when we're looking at the 12-hour chart, 200 moving average fail, but now you've broken it, and that's still very interesting. You shouldn't forget about this. But yeah, like if you're talking about textbook stuff, that's real. For now, the development of it is very real and should not be ignored. It's there. A little bit harder to say on the RSI, but if you go from this peak here, it is bearish divergence, Class A. A little bit of buyer exhaustion on the 12-hour. So you pull back, but as long as wherever the pullback happens, as long as you stay above 19,891, you're fine, man. You're completely fine. What happens if you came to just back test 20,400? You've never really done that, so if you do that, it's not a big deal. We'll see how much performance, how much performance we get from this bearish divergence playing out. If it plays out, will it be like a massacre, or will it just be mild pullback, no big deal, holding 19,891, holding above 18,650, which is like insanely important. So cautiously optimistic still, but yeah, let's just see how far we go down with this implying downside, some anyway. There you go, Egg. Push Malone Doge Chaincoin though was requested unbelievably.
FTT Black Swan even to get us to 13K?
To get Bitcoin to 14K, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, could it? Sure, of course it could. But like, until we're seeing the massive selling pressure come in, you can't really determine that yet. Like, until you're taking out 18,650, there's no way you're getting to 14K. Those things have to happen, which is good, right? It's great news that we know for a fact you can't get to 14K without breaking 18,650. Those things haven't happened. But when they do, I will be here to cover it, to identify it, to talk about it with you. And yeah, that will be the next. Like, below these lows is 14K, I think, fast. But that hasn't happened yet.
I got puts on AMD 18th Nov $61 strike price. Think it's going to take another leg lower?
Probably in time. Tech, if it's connected to tech, yeah, probably in time, man. But you just gotta know, man. Like, you look at the AMD chart, you look at Nvidia, you look at all these mega cap tech stocks. None of them look like Bitcoin. They no longer look the same. They're all different. It's the Gustavo Fring, we are not the same meme. That's what it is. It's just they don't look the same. If Bitcoin looked like those tech stocks, Bitcoin would be at 14K by now for sure. But Bitcoin started creating the W and holding the 886 for 6 weeks while tech continued to plummet and get destroyed. I mean, we can like take a quick look at AMD or something, but let me just real quick for Kush Blunts, who always supports this channel, right? Always supports channel every day. I got him covered. Still elevated, man. Still up there, dude. I mean, back above 635. Good. Very good. Back above the key inflection point, well, one of them anyway, and you hold this enough, long enough, 884 is your target. If you fall below it, then 488. There's not really an edge. I mean, you're losing negative momentum, which is good. You could try to argue, maybe, on the RSI here from this low. These lows, clearly, you see it, a pivot and a low point. Those levels are higher than on this higher low. You have lower levels, so you might have an argument for hidden bullish divergence developing on Pulse Doge chain on the daily, maybe. Yeah, but yeah, your idea coupled with handle, I mean, you're still handling, right? It's still a handle, man. So pay attention to this. We'll see what happens above 635. You could be going to, I mean, 884 would be your target above that level. If you're above this long enough, you go to 884, and then you break it, you go to all-time highs, right? If you don't hold 635, you go to 488, you go test 48, 450. If you don't hold that, you go to 190. It's just about the levels here, man. And maybe you're starting to develop something on the RSI. It's just really tough to believe that would happen if Bitcoin's gonna roll over. It's gonna like recouple with tech stocks, and the VIX is gonna spike. You just never know when that's gonna happen, because we're not in good macro conditions. They're terrible, man. They're awful. Yeah, coordinates meaning, do you see all the numbers? All the numbers. These are coordinates. And depending on what the coordinates are, dictate what type of harmonic structure you have. And it requires memorization of those if you really want to get it. And before you even want to start messing with harmonics, you want to be mastering Fibonacci. I have a pretty good video on Fibonacci on my, it's like on the landing page, like on static videos. It just goes into what Fibonacci is, how to use the tool. And I mean, you know, you're using Fibonacci to identify value or premium. Harmonics are so amazing because they identify value in predictable patterns, wave structures. I mean, wave structures that have been appearing and been playing out for 100+ years on traditional markets. So hitting an 88% retrace is an 88% sale on Pulse Doge chain coin. But if you have an 88% sale and you also have a wave structure that is one of those predictable wave structures, the M shape, then yeah, it's like you're on the lower risk side of longing, of owning the asset. And this goes for anything on any market. It's all universal like math. Okay, so there you go, Kush Blunts. Thanks, man. I'm just like, AMD, look at it. Had its earnings, you know, it's like, okay, this is so bad. It's like, I mean, you're in such a, is Bitcoin look anything like this? No, Bitcoin doesn't look like this at all. It looks like just trash bearish consolidation, but you're just slightly above a key level that you did fall below. Sellers tried, they couldn't keep it below it long enough, because if you do stay below $59 long enough, it's $48.50, the old 2000 top high. But look, I mean, the inflection point's there, you're above it, so maybe it rallies to $74 for a back test, because it never did that. It never market participants never back tested this old support resistance as resistance again. You just dump through it like nothing. So you could go there and then roll over later, or just start crashing Monday, you know, whatever. But you don't want to be longing AMD because the trend is so miserably bearish. But trying to short it here is also really tough because you just had the opportunity. I was live on stream talking about this as it was here. It was days of this. Patrons were pinged on this, and Nvidia. They both had the beautiful bearish sharks at their pattern completion zones. These are your low risk short areas. Down here, you just missed the wave. You're going to try to short low. Like, sure, it could keep dumping, but it's just not at the lowest risk area to be taking shorts. It's hard to, how do you even strategize a stop loss? I mean, it's back above support, and you can't be surprised if AMD is above $59.27 and it runs to $74. You cannot be surprised. That would melt short FOMO faces, and it would just be doing normal stuff, right? Buyers defended the level for now. So it's not always about like, hey man, let me just catch the direction now. It's mainly just about where is the best area to strategize an entry and a stop loss. And the best areas a lot of times, and in this situation, would be you're in a bear trend, you've identified a bearish W structure, the inverse of the M, 88% retrace and 88% sale for shorts in a downtrend. If you identify a bearish harmonic, a bearish pattern, and a bearish trend, it can be reliable, and it can oftentimes outperform. This certainly outperformed, did it not? It did. Bearish vibe to yourself, dude. No one's gonna be against your bearish vibe. I get the bearish vibe. We've been bearish all year. I mean, God forbid, after Bitcoin loses 70% of its value, hits the previous cycle top, sellers try to break that support for 4.5 months and they fail, and then somehow an M shape develops. You can't really be that mad that we just identified that, and it could have. I was thinking, man, it could have easily been a dud and just collapsed. It didn't collapse though. The buyers came in and started pushing the price up just around the same time as when tech started collapsing. So if it's just like, if this looked like AMD, if it looked like Nvidia, if it looked like Google and Amazon and Apple and Microsoft, then I'd be a lot less optimistic. I'd feel like tech stocks look terrible and looks like a downtrend that'll last a while, man. We're in a well-established downtrend already that will continue for some time. It's just anytime you look at something like Bitcoin doing this, it's like you identify it, but you have no expectations. None. Because when it goes the other way against what you thought, it will trigger an emotional response and affect your next trade. But like, looking at this is okay, and it's gonna be okay until it falls below 18.9. Really, these previous discernible lows, right? You come all the way down to 19.650 tonight. It's still technically okay. I mean, buyers never back tested 19.891 nor 19.650 after you broke back above it, October 25th. No back test yet. You may never get it, but a lot of times you'll get formal back tests at support, reconfirming the validity of an area that should have been resistance is now support before more bids come in. More people gain confidence to believe the bottom is in at that level, and then the buyers come in, and then the rally ensues or continues, and you go to 22.8. I did. FTT. I did look at FTT. It is like on the cusp of collapse. If this level doesn't hold, it's got 80% downside, and that's not even a joke. 80%. There's no support below actually where you closed the day. What, like almost an hour ago? Again, going back to it just so you can see, because this is a major development that could, who knows, this could drive everything down. This could kill the market. I mean, something so significant like this, look where you are. Once this is gone, it's over, dude. 460 target. But dude, we're at $22, but you'll soon be at $4.60 once the technical support breaks. So again, have everyone in here better go ahead and put your alerts, set them up, man. $21 beep so we can all hear it together. It's like, everyone syncs up their watches. Let's coordinate our watch times together by the second. What is it? Synchronize, and let's synchronize our alerts together so we can all freak out when we hear the beep on FTX or FTT, the FTX token.
Good evening, please evaluate VIPs. It's Chinese hot garbage, but it looks like a completed harmonic that is reacting. Thanks for all you do.
What's up, Cactus Leo? Thanks for the 1555 repeating a course. Yeah, we'll look at your Chinese hot garbage. VIPs. Very important personal scams. Is that what it is? Bitcoin at its lows of the day, of the week, the new week. Did I ever do? I didn't do Jesus Chumps. Let's do Jesus Chumps for the new week. Sorry. Let's go to Bitcoin's weekly real quick because we didn't do that either. Here it is. Here's Bitcoin's weekly chart. I mean, if you just take out what happened yesterday and everyone's scared now, like it was the highest weekly candle close since September 5th. Oh, okay. That's not bad. It's 2-month highs. You're above the previous cycle top. Okay. One time sellers tried, the second time the sellers tried, and they failed. They failed again. My God, man. How many times are you going to try? So that's what I'm saying. Like you can be cautiously, you're not bullish because the trend's long-term down. It's been that way for a year. But when you're above that, you can be cautiously optimistic, and that's it.
Karai79 super chatted $50. Just showing love.
Brian, man, thanks for the 50 super chat. That Binance coin in the jar. Thank you, dude. The love is mutual, and I really appreciate it, man. 100% crowdsource stream. So it's you or no one. Thank you, dude. So besides that, you know, the oscillator, the MACD histogram continuing to build, which is good. RSI is trying, and this is where it could get bad. You know, like it's at 40. Do you see this? It's at the bearish control zone. You really, really, really need to get above 40 on the RSI, get to neutral. But as it stands, currently just sitting at it. Any move up this week would do it, but we may not get it because times are so tough. But man, I'm just saying, right? You look at this and you just, someone and other people are going to be like, dude, it's a bear flag, man. It's a bear flag. And it's like, it could be a bear flag. That's fine. But you can't really get mad at me just identifying price action correlation. And here's the thing. You get it. We go to $28,000. We're still bearish. The long term, like the market's still in a bear trend.
2-week close as well.
The 2-week close. Just think about this, man. Say the harmonic's there and it actually plays out and it actually performs decently well because you've lost so much value for so long and you finally hit a key level and you've held it twice with confirmation and this happens. It doesn't change the trend. You're not in a bull trend when you go to 28,800 or 30,000. You're not in a bull trend. So say this harmonic plays out and we run to these levels and then later, like 3 months, 4 months down the road, we eventually come back and then eventually then break the level and go to 14K, but it's in April of next year. What's to prevent that from happening? Why can that not happen? Why can't we have both outcomes? People just like, so polarized thing, only down, only down, only down. It's like, dude, you're showing an argument to where maybe a short-term scrub rally, which could be quite significant, happens, and then later, months later, we dump. There's nothing wrong. That's not like invalid. That's not a bad idea. Okay. Yeah, we looked at Matic already. That is doing some nice stuff. No idea. I mean, some sort of money has to be coming in to crypto. I mean, it's not. It's like leaving the stock market. It's wild, man. I really, again, this is just something that never happens. It's just rare. Let's go to Ethereum's weekly. Ethereum's weekly is pretty great. I mean, it's greater than Bitcoin. Think about it. Bitcoin's making the exact same lows. And Ethereum's making a higher low, and this is the same. It's the same thing, but it's different, right? Where It's a confirmation low, but it's just substantially higher. So strong that sellers can't even get it to an 886 from the previous low to high. So if you're just holding the 200-week moving average, you're above 1420, 1365, the 2018 cycle top. I mean, this is really strong here. I mean, you're showing a higher low, and even here, like, I mean, you know, in March, like you had one low, then a second low, and even it was a bear trend at the time, but it still had a nice rally. Like that can happen here. It can still have a nice rally and then just reverse later. But you're like pretty close to a breakout of a downtrend that you've been in for a year. You've held supports. You've held the 200-week moving average, unlike Bitcoin. And you're certainly outperforming Bitcoin like crazy. Where if this was the Bitcoin chart, it would have had to have come all the way down. Like if this was the Bitcoin chart, it would have done this. So better performer. Ethereum's a better performer. BNB, better performer. Matic, better performer. Others are better performers. Some of them are, but most of them are kind of in line with Bitcoin. Most of them in line. Okay, so just looking at the weekly because the weekly closed and I'd forgotten. 2 week. Did I look at the 2 week? 2 week. You haven't seen positive momentum since December 2021. I'll bet you're going to get positive momentum at some point. And come on, man. I mean, really? Eventually, yeah, you're getting closer and closer to neutral. And man, like I didn't like Ethereum until it held this level, and now it's on the cusp of a breakout. And the fact that Bitcoin's above 19,891 after completing that harmonic while tech's crashing is kind of promising, but we'll see. Here's your Bitcoin's 2 week. Yeah, look at that. I mean, the same thing on the 2 week here. You haven't seen positive momentum since November. It's been a year since the 2 weeks shown positive Momo. Crazy, man. Yeah, I mean, just bear flag. But what if it rallies to 28K and then dumps to 14K in 6 months from now, 5 months from now? Oh. But yeah, here's your 4 hour, no bids on the new week yet. That's okay. Okay, let's go to that Chinese stock. VIP Shop Holdings. Can we get an audio check? The audio, music's not too loud, is it? Oh my god, it probably is, dude. It's so unreal, man. I just turned it down because it's just awful. Sounds okay. I mean, y'all are saying it was okay, but oh man. All right, so VIP Shop, Chinese hot garbage. It's hard to want to. I wouldn't want to own any. I don't care if it's Chinese. Oh, I mean, I guess I care. I don't care what it looks like. If it's Chinese, I don't really care. Like, I wouldn't want to put my money in anything communist. Sorry, dude. Like, I just got. Oh wow, it's showing a harmonic at an inflection point. Well, guess what else is Bitcoin and it's not Chinese. So, it's like similar stuff lost all its value and is creating the M shape now. Yeah, it's a shark. It's a shark for sure. Hit the 886. Of course it did. Of course it did. It's perfect. Like perfect reaction. It's the shark. Shark always this magenta red color above the low from October 2017. It's huge. I mean, it's a massive level. I think there's some more. There's like another big one, you know, at 1045. If you stay below or above this long enough, that'd be your target. 1045. History tell us that. Straight up and down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Yeah, so 1045 would be your target if this actually played out. But this is the level, okay? So despite it being a Chinese hot piece of garbage, which we don't care about owning Chinese communist stuff, but fundamentally, this is great for education because you think about where is all this happening? From the low of 2018 to the all-time high, it's all happening lower or around the 88% retrace. That is the sweet spot. This is where you're looking for real value, 886s to 95% retraces. Because it's like the whole thing about an X, A, B, C, D. It's like a massive M shape of sorts. But at that 886, 95% retrace area, you're developing a very nice looking harmonic. I mean, that's amazing. That's what you're trying to do. That's what you want to do. So it's value within value. The best area to ever identify harmonics like this on the daily is when it has lost 88% plus of its value. And if it happens to be lining up with key inflection points, even better. I mean, this is exactly, the same type of stuff that many, if not all, most of them, the altcoins are doing the same thing as this. Same freaking thing. Like, what example? Do you want an example? I can give you an example. I'm not sure if ONG. There's like, just give me a sec, okay? XRP is a wonderful example on the weekly or monthly. On the monthly chart, XRP is a wonderful example, okay? It's not showing the harmonic per se, but where it is from its respective low from COVID crash to the all-time high. It's lost 88% of its value. They lined up with a support level. 886, you can bet 786, the 886 right there. That's and an engulfing candle appears. That's what you're looking for, engulfing candles. This is where you're looking to, if you want to buy something fresh, you're always looking for an 88% sale on it if you can get it. Full reset. Weekly's good too. You can just see X, A, B, C, D, 886. Sure, there were others too. Like engine, like just think, like just for you get it the low to the high. Where is all this happening? Or is it trying to maybe put in a confirmation low? It's trying to put in a confirmation low below the 886 or right around it, a 92, 91% retrace. That's where you're looking for major reaction reversals. Okay. EOS didn't do the same thing. It's terrible. This one was like all-time lows. This is because they have USBs. They $4 billion seed money and they squandered it. Dash was a good one. It was, though, it went beyond an 886, didn't it? It's down at like a 97% retrace area, but you're at the bottom, you're at the basement, are you not? Just looking at some of these, like, just think about it, man. Like, look at this. You're at like a 90% retrace. This is where, hey, man, if a harmonic develops down here, all right. Hot, same thing. These are just S coins, right? They're at 886 losses. If you want me to anchor, I can show you here too. It's just, and let me go back to the NASDAQ in 2000 to show you some stuff. Look at this. It's exceeded the 886 by a lot, but it's like a 95% retrace. Those are the areas, though. So the NASDAQ, though, was bad because it was like, it hits the 886, rallies, and then just keeps making lower highs, lower lows, and actually exceeds 100% retrace from the 1998 low, which is really, really bad. I think maybe the S&P might have been a better one because that was the tech bubble popping. Well, actually, I think we might be in the tech bubble pop 2.0. It seems like we are. Yeah, it's kind of tough on this one too. This was a situation was really bad. Like 2008, you were falling below your 2002 lows. It was awful. Really, really bad. About 886s, man. I think AMD itself going back to 2000 when it recovered. Yeah, that was bad. Let's see. Bubble popped in 2000. I mean, it really just went to, God, dude, it's awful, man. Awful stuff. They go to their 100% retraces, though, don't they? 100% retraces, and then they reverse after making 100%. So I'm trying to find, like, I know there's, like, I mean, Activision was a pretty good one on its reversal after the 2018 VIX crush right here. Like, okay, good example. Great example, man. This is the same thing. So you got a major swing low from 2016 and the high from 2018. Where did it go? It lost 88% of its value. Activision Blizzard, okay? The rising wedge, the bearish divergence, it was there. It was awful. It was dumb, right? But then what happens at 886? Well, it filled a gap too, a magical gap fill from February 2017, but then painted the M shape. So you found an 886, like a big global 886, massive 886 retrace, and you present the pattern, and at the 886 of the 886, that is what ushered in the big time reversal and took you to all-time highs. But yeah, now we're in a different situation. But again, it's just like practicing that's like a good fundamental of technicals. Like you're in lower risk territory for it failing when you identify harmonic at an 886. Okay. Bitcoin no bids on the new week. Want to have sirens, of course. Right on cue. Dude, just hold on. My God. Okay, so something that's happening tomorrow. I'm gonna be on Miss Teen Crypto's live stream at 4 p.m. Eastern. So that's like a scheduled live stream. So I'm posting that right now. So if you like want to watch that, her interview me or talk to me just about whatever, it'll be before my live stream. So just go ahead and, I think you can go in there and add an alert or something, a notification. So just posting that. So it'll be fun. It's, when do I ever go on someone's live stream and get interviewed? Never. Like I don't think it's ever happened. Maybe, right? So check it out. So she's seeing the ways of the TA and loves it because it's amazing, man. Like Bitcoin is great and all, and I love it for what it does, but I mean, TA is universal. TA is on everything. Bitcoin's Bitcoin. Crypto altcoins, they get illiquid. They're just beanie babies, dude. Right? When the hype goes, was it really that much use case involved? Literally no. Like every time, right? Everything that happens, like, oh, NFTs, and no one cares. 99% of volume's gone on those markets, right? Rarible and OpenSea. What about yield farming? Well, everyone got scammed. People locked their money up and they took on massive losses, and that didn't work out. Well, that sucks. But TA is there, right? TA is there. Rising wedge. Oh my God, if we break this, we're going to 20K. It looked like 20K, right? I mean, like, hey, you can't do this. You cannot fall back below 40K, back test these levels as resistance, that bearish and golden candle. Probably 30K is your target eventually, and 30K. So it's just, and then the S&P, right? That was like that confirmation high, below 58K. It can be really, really bad. But that type of stuff is here. In the bearish to bear markets, you can find bearish patterns. And those bearish patterns can be Like we just looked at AMD, Nvidia. What about just the SOX, man? The semiconductor chart. How did it end? With the identification of a right-angled and ascending broadening formation. It was textbook. It was Jesus levels, and it crashed. It dumped hard, and even really came back for a successful back test before dumping. And then, of course, yeah, look at this. I mean, the downtrend had been established, right? And then, of course, look what happens. I mean, yeah, just then you get your beautiful, beautiful bearish shark pattern. There, right? The bearish continuation, and then you continue on down. And then what happened again? Come on, I mean, it's there. The trend's established, so bearish patterns are going to be reliable and can outperform. Look at this. Look at your semiconductors. This is like a ETF for. Look at your bearish patterns. Look at that. It's gorgeous. Bitcoin did it in 2018 on waves down, but this is why TA is amazing, and it's the. I don't know. It's the type of thing that I abide by more than just caring about crypto. I mean, crypto is not my first thing. It was TA. It was stocks. But I learned the way of the TA from stocks and then started trying to apply it to untraditional markets like crypto. And they are reliable. They play out. I mean, TA can get really respected in crypto, but it also can be disrespected too. I mean, it can fail, and this way you have stop loss set up. And yeah, let's see. Bitcoin, lows of the week, lows of the day, 20,837 and falling. Yikes. Not by like much, but it's awful. So just saying, the TA will be there for you in the bear markets. Will crypto be there for you in the bear markets? No, because it's only selling off. All it does is lose. Scams get exposed. More dumping, more scamming, more crap. TA's there though. TA, remember TA? Remember that time Luna, before the rug pull, developed the most legendary head and shoulders pattern in history? In TA history. Because I don't think anything's ever existed on any market ever where it showed the head and shoulders pattern, presented it like the Jesus, and then virtually goes to zero after it breaks the neckline. Nothing's done that. So I would say this is the most legendary head and shoulders in traditional technical analysis history. But it was there. I wouldn't want to long this. I wouldn't want to be involved with this. You break 75, you're going straight down to 43 and no, going to zero. So just these things were all here. They were here even before the rug pull. All right, if Enron was still listed, I'd look at the chart. I can't. I mean, we'd have to like pull up a Google chart, and then I can't be interactive with it. So deep crab? What deep crab? Yes, the 12-hour bearish divergence is valid on Bitcoin. Yes, there is classic Class A bearish divergence on Bitcoin's 12-hour chart. Yes, implying a reversal, which would probably take it to 20,400, maybe even 20K. As long as you stay above those levels, all is well. We're all good. But this is all here, man. It was here. Hex on the way up. Dude, it's Hex, but people call it a scam. But you can call it names all you want, but there was so much stuff here. I don't even have it plotted anymore, but it was genius stuff. It really, really was. I don't have it anymore, but it was like you had like a falling wedge. You had a bullish 5-0. You had double bottoms. You had classic accumulation, 3 rising valley stuff here. I mean, you know, double bottom. You had all these things like, and we were identifying them. We didn't know if they were going to play out, but they did. They performed incredible, and then you went parabolic and then blow off top, double top. But then when things went bearish, right? What played out like perfectly? What was it when it was identified in the end with the poor performance on the rally? Right angled ascending, broadening formation, and what happened? Beautiful continuation downward. But then after it crashed and all that, then we had identified a bullish shark, and then look how high it went. I mean, it's not in a bull market per se, but this is all I'm saying is like something that could happen on Bitcoin. Is that yeah, it's in a long-term downtrend, but what happens if Bitcoin holds above 19,891? It runs to 28.8 and then reverses and then ends up making the lower lows or the same lows later, you know, months later. Like GRT was incredible, like back in the day, back before all this bad stuff happened. We had a legendary trade setup right here, and it was only because of traditional TA. That was it. It was like inverse head and shoulders at the bottom of a range, and little did we know it was going to do what it did, but because you had more reasonable targets. But it's incredible, buying low and identifying certain things, right? Like spring back test with hidden bullish divergence can be incredible. Anyway, just going around, we could like look at more cryptos if you want. Like Bitcoin Cash did something spectacular on Friday. I believe it was Friday, maybe Saturday. But see, like it had broken this wedge. This one's like just amazing. I mean, it may fail, of course, because it's crypto and the macro is terrible. And like if any of this fails, okay, I'm chalking it up to that. I mean, because in history, like in like September of 2020, when everything looked bad, and then we actually pivoted and ran. When we pivoted and ran, it was after these things had developed over hundreds of, like 100 or 200 days, right? These all developed. And the sentiment was still bad before we started mooning. So like, for instance, Litecoin's a great example of that. Litecoin was a trade setup, I remember back then in September 2020. And right here, it was like after the COVID crash, and then you developed the M shape, the perfect shark completed, and then you showed classic accumulation. Like, might as well, this is where one would take a shot if they were going to. And none of this had happened yet, but people were questioning it. They're like, "Are you sure? Like, what if it goes down to $37?" I'm like, dude, but like it's completing an 886 shark, and there was bullish divergence on the like at the pattern completion zone. There was daily bullish divergence. It was just like, if you don't take a shot with those things going on, when would you take a shot? And then it goes to insane levels. It was like almost $420 from here, like this bottom here. So it's like you can't get mad for identifying something that develops and then it fails, because just the same as it failing, it could end up doing this. You just don't know at the time. Like Bitcoin's developed its own harmonic, but it hasn't really played out yet, but it's above an inflection point and it's kind of taken off somewhat from the bottom, but just not too much yet. It's never about being right or wrong. It's just about being able to identify lower risk entry areas, being able to strategize stop loss after those low risk entries are taken. All right, that's all I exist for, man. I'm just existing to and going staying on Litecoin. You know, it's pretty incredible. I mean, I think it broke some serious. $66 is massively important. Okay, $66 is almost everything. If you go back to history and look at this level, 2018, 2019, multiple times, 2020. That was the peak of that chart. You're above that. What's the price action? Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. That's it. So the target on Litecoin above $66 long enough is $84. So you have a colossal bullish breakout on Litecoin, at least from history. And really the performance of this was better than Bitcoin, better than most of the altcoins, closer to Ethereum performance, right? Where did Litecoin from its high to low ever get to an 886 like Bitcoin? No, it ended up reversing at a 618. Was it ever able to complete that massive M shape that Bitcoin developed, or that most of the altcoins developed? Nope. If it did, if this was the Bitcoin chart, it'd have come down here. It would have come to $42, but it couldn't. There was too much demand. So outperformance. Litecoin outperforming Bitcoin in the past 6 weeks. Right? So strong. And it being above $66, $84. So what a nice run it's been the past week, but if it was going to continue, you still have another 20% upside on Litecoin based on historical price action above $66. Okay. Got it? Okay. I don't even know if Bitcoin Cash showed a similar type of development in that 2020 time. I think it did. It did. It was so. Oh yeah, the alternate bat of sorts. Dash was another amazing one, right? Remember Dash? So you got the 100% retrace of the M shape, but it's like that support. It's the inflection point. It held and held and held, and then it ran and it was gone. Yeah, it wasn't as good because it made 100%. But an 886, man, I mean, like, okay, so let me just go back to Dash. I'm going to have to replot this one. Wherever it was, see, 2020. It was gorgeous though, man. It was legit freaking perfect. Or was this one or not? God, where was it, man? This was it. The right, wasn't it? The M shape maybe on the 4 hour. Some of y'all remember. Dash is pretty interesting right here. I mean, obviously you had an M shape here, but it wasn't like the 886 one. Yeah, like look at this. This was it. This was it for sure. All right, is it January 2021? Something like this. It's this. Oh yeah, it's like the 786. It was like a Gartley, and then type 2s, type 2 returns, and then from there, like hits the targets. But then after hitting the third target, which was the top of the harmonic, it just ends up blasting off and going to unheard of levels, right? Crazy levels. So these M shapes, they develop, they're there, and they can go insane. But this was legit at the time. It was like one of the best looking ones we had seen, and did some pretty solid stuff. So I mean, I could go back and find it. It'd just take me a minute because, yeah, gotta look at the database. But yeah, Dash though, just looking at it locally recently now, I mean, the buyers defended this $38 level, $39. It's a very important level too. I mean, it's a level from 2019. It's not a joke. And if you stay above this level long enough, don't you think if it's range bound, it could go to $56 eventually? Yeah, eventually. Just not yet. Not with Bitcoin doing what it's doing. Volume, what? Can you not hear me? It's a broken stream. Oh, well. I don't know, man. Pluto not being a planet, whatever, dude. Like, if it's not a planet, it's not a planet. It's just a, you know, a rock. It's a rock, dude, and it's really far away from us. So, when I'm like, there's a planet X that's outside of Pluto. Well, we can't really see it or whatever. Well, there's something out there that has a gravitational pull that helps change. It's like, you know, Pluto's normal, like not always the most outer planet or not planet in our solar system. Isn't it true that Neptune will sometimes go outside of Pluto, right? They have their own like orbit and stuff, and there's something out there that has gravitational pull outside our, just outside our solar system. It might still be in our solar system, like the outer aspects of our solar system where there are no planets. You know? Am I wrong here? Am I crazy? Nibiru? What? Back me up on that. That's the theory. Some people think it's like, oh, it's a black hole. It's like, I don't think there's a black hole out there. Okay, so, you know, I'll tell you, shifting gears real quick if you want to. Well, we don't have to. We can stick on crypto if you want. FIL, I mean, look at the level. Like, just, this is really going to help you brush up on what's smart, what's stupid. I mean, like, if you're looking at a level that's holding, you know, the bottom of it, these are lower risk for long areas always, right? The lower you, closer you are. If you're breaking supply lines, which I call Wyckoff, people call jumping across the creek. You have little local falling wedges, whatever. You have divergence there at buyer or seller exhaustion occurring at an inflection point. With all this happening, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, if you identify this properly and you take action on it, you could be up substantially already from that area, right? What's going on. And then this is going on across the crypto market. It's not just FIL. If you look at something like NEO, this is Chinese trash, but I mean, just look at it. Like, it fails, okay, wow, the market sucks, go figure. But the whole point of like trading, swing trading, and using traditional technical analysis to help you identify when you should be going long, I mean, if it failed, how is this not lower risk? I mean, this is the lower risk of end of things. Like, you're not longing at the top of the range, you're longing at the bottom. And then you're not just longing at the bottom, you're longing after the asset put its low in. The sellers attempted to break the key support. They did break it for a minute. But then, guess what was going on? Guess what was going on when this thing was breaking support? All of a sudden, of course, seller exhaustion was there on the daily. And the buyers came back in, pushed the price higher. You broke a supply line. You're now making a slightly higher low than the previous low. So all of a sudden, the momentum's starting to shift at the bottom of a trading range. So it's still like, these are good spots for upside, even if they don't go up. There's nothing wrong with this. This is what you're looking for always on anything, always. Fedcoin, did you know that the giant or colossal squid has the largest eye on the planet? Like, eyeball? No animal has a larger eye on this planet than the colossal squid. That's what I learned anyway. I think that's right. I don't think I'm crazy. I think that's correct. Yeah, so that, and then you've got others that are very similar, you know, like Storage was in a similar situation.
I'd love your opinion on weekly. Is it an Adam and Eve cup and handle? 0.012728131 ETH.
We can look at Ethereum dominance. Thank you, Dow Jones, for the $20.04 of crypto. Thank you, dude. Really appreciate it. We will look after like this one. Yeah. So storage, like same, it's like trade setup. It's like completed harmonic. Where's the harmonic? Where are you identifying the harmonic? I mean, after it's losing like all its value, this is from this low here to the all-time high, or wherever it went, the highest high. It is an 88% retrace. So you're identifying a harmonic at a global 886, and then right, the harmonic is an 886, right? So it's an 886 within an 886, so it's value within value. When it's showing that harmonic completing, at the time of its completion, it just happens to be showing daily bullish divergence, triple divergence. I mean, and all of this is happening at some sort of inflection point that at least goes back to 2017, 2018. So there's just, I mean, that's your critical thinking. That's you using TA to maybe give yourself some sort of edge for there being a higher probability of up next, not down still. Like, you go up, you go to 64, 69 cents, hit a target or two, and the bear trend continues, and then it rolls over later. But like, this is down here. This is just when it starts being like, hey man, downside's really, really limited here. And actually the TA is saying that like, you might be going up for a bear market rally first before rolling over later, you know, but. All right, let's go to that Ethereum.d. The Ethereum dominance, man. All right. Adam and Eve. I think it's just a rectangle a little bit. Adam and Eve double something. You say top or bottom? And then Adam and Eve cup with Handelman. Weekly. On the daily, it's a rectangle, I believe. You know, it had this whacked out stuff, but look at the range. And, well, no, I think Ethereum to Bitcoin has the partial decline. This one, I don't really think it's just hit the bottom of the range and rallied. The weekly, though. That was beautiful. Is it double bottom cup with handle? Not sure about a cup with handle, man. Super strong. I mean, it's like incredible uptrend. Like you're in a very, very long-term uptrend. Look at this low to this low. What happened? Higher lows. Above the 200-week moving average. Even the local range you're in, you're holding that. I think that's really strong. And I wouldn't be fighting this type of trend. This is uptrending, and if it seems like it would continue. So that means that Ethereum dominance would be getting higher and higher. And if it ever breaks 20% market cap dominance, I mean, 25% market cap dominance is where it'd be headed. But none of that's happened yet. But that's what's happened. Like, you think about it, yeah? You're in an uptrend. Look at the sellers. They tried so hard, desperately, in June and July, and they failed. And now you're right back to the same price or the same percentage you were at in May of 2021. I mean, we're talking about you're at the same percentage market cap dominance to when Ethereum was at like $4,000 to $5,000, but it's only at what, like 1575 right now, but the same market cap dominance, huh? So it's really strong. It's an uptrend, and until you fall below 16.8%, you're good. What's up, Josh?
Can you tell me if RVN looks better than most? Debating on putting more in. Cheers, man dancing, alien. Binance has the most data.
What's up, Josh? Thanks for the 1669, man. Yeah, we'll look at Ravencoin right now. Sure. Binance with most data, man. All right. Super strong Ethereum dominance, and Ethereum to Bitcoin is also extremely strong. They are in long established uptrends. BNB is in a hyper uptrend. It's hitting all-time highs like every day almost. So, but nothing else in the world is doing that. BNB is the only thing doing that. BNB is the only thing making all-time highs to Bitcoin. But Ethereum to Bitcoin is really strong uptrend. So, and mostly everything else are just losers, lower highs, lower lows forever, and probably will continue forever. Ravencoin. Oh man, I mean, just to me, man, it's pretty terrible. Like, I get it. I know, like, it's like everything else in crypto, really. It's like all these coins where they lose 95% of their value, and then they recover, and then they just run up and hit an inflection point in reverse. And I kind of hate this asset below 3.8 to 4.16 cents going back to 2019. These two peaks. Look, this valley, this peak. I mean, why are you below that? And why are you below the 200-day moving average like this and just regarding it as resistance and nothing else? Like, why is this happening? Though, yes, it's still making a higher low than the low from September 1st. But why did it do it? Why is it doing this crap? Oh, there's probably just, I just think there's better assets to own than Ravencoin. Just my opinion, looking at it. We've already looked at some of them, right? I mean, just to me, it doesn't stick out as phenomenal at all. I hate it below 42 or 4.2 cents, really. If it could get above 4.2 cents, man, you know where it could go. It already did it. It went to 7.7 cents. So, yeah, I guess the only thing you could be excited about is if it can hold above 2.7 cents. If it holds where it is now, then it'll be an accumulation argument. But it still is making higher lows, and even here. But doesn't that look bad? Like, where it could just start rolling over here, like the 200. It's not support. You're not above it. You're below it. Bitcoin's above its 200 moving average. Wait, no, it's below it, but it's above the 50. But there are assets out there. There are cryptos out there that are above their 200 moving average. And those are the ones I'd be more inclined to, like, you know. Like, if you ask me, hey man, Ravencoin or some other coin of your choice, I'd be like, probably Bitcoin Cash. Yeah, I think I'd probably like Bitcoin Cash because it's it's a pattern. It's showing all the things that I know give me a higher probability of it playing out. Like, I know it gives me an edge. Like, I look at Raven, I don't really know. It doesn't look like I have a discernible edge here looking at the chart. I know this one does. I know others do too. I know. I mean, again, SNX is the one. To me, SNX is it. XNX, this one above 238 is like. This will be an NFT if it plays out. If this thing goes to 350, I mean, if it's hitting like 430, I'm NFTing this, and it's gonna be incredible. It'll be minted of one of one. Oh, yeah, Matic to Bitcoin. We should look at that because that is one that is now changing. We have a big change on Matic. Matic, it's still though. It's what you know what I'll give you that. This is a great chart, and thank you for bringing that up. That was Scar Sizzle. Thank you, dude. Because yeah, you're right, man. Fantastic chart here. Oh yeah. Matic to Bitcoin, all-time high was May of 2021, 6,700. You're at 5,500. You're definitely at a major inflection point. The candle high closed May 2021. That's where you are right now. It lines up with December 2021. You are at a major breakout point. Very, very real here. So think about what this is really. Oh my God, dude. It's kind of just like the huge run, the sell-off, and then kind of like the double bottom. Accumulation confirmed. Breaking these levels, man. I mean, I imagine if Matic to the US dollar is breaking those resistances, it's going to 160, 170, easy. And that'll take it to all-time highs probably. So maybe have another alert set up on Matic. Inversing FTT. God, you know. I mean, I guess I'll just put it right, because it did, like, a couple days ago, break through that. I'm just going to have an alert close to that. This is a big deal. I mean, keep your eye on Matic to Bitcoin, because it could be now another one. There were no more requests, dude. Get wrecked, everyone. SQs. SQs are just, oh my God, it was down 4%. No one cares that it was down 4%. You're going to get volatile movements, illiquid market. You're going to get days where these assets that have been destroyed or in well-established downtrends catch bids, and they're going to be substantial 3 to 4 to 5% gains in a day. And that's probably to get stupid money to like buy in so they can be exit liquidity. But there's something special about the SQs chart. You're talking about classic accumulation, and it just happens to be from the second low to the third low. You have that perfect textbook bullish shark that happened to pretty much back test that low from September 2021 as support, and look at you running, and now you're above the 200-day moving average. I'd imagine you're getting close to a golden cross if you haven't already had one. Wow, you actually golden crossed for real in March, but as you can see, it was about to death cross and then holds, and that's really strong, man. That's like confirming the golden cross is very real now. Look at regarding the 50s support kind of here. I mean, that is, you were technically above all the moving average right here, but that's what you're looking for. When you want an uptrend, you're looking for all the moving averages. Where are they sloping? They're all up sloping. You know, Bitcoin 200 is still like down sloping. We really want to start seeing like the moving averages up sloping, where the direction of the price is. You want them all to be going the same way. And then you want it to be like the 200, the 50, then the 20, just like this. You want it to look just like that. But your trend has certainly been reversing. It's pretty beautiful. If you ever break 65.50, market pandemonium. The Qs are getting destroyed, and you're going to 81.77 fast. So if you ever break 65.50 from where you are right now, you have minimum upside of 38%. Wow. Above 38% is, you have no idea, like just probably 125, if not that, $98. That's massive, man. So you stare at this these structures here, and you're just like, how could you be bearish on this? How could you think this is bad? This is so bullish looking. Yeah. FTX exchange stable reserves are down 93% in 2 weeks. Ethereum withdrawals just hit an all-time high. Hourly Ethereum withdrawals just hit an all-time high. What in the... Yikes, dude. Well, I mean, it's just like, yeah, this stuff's happening behind the scenes. It's like, and all we got on our side are harmonics that look like this. Like, this is textbook, dude. I mean, this really is like, where it's happening is the dream. I mean, like, it's Shiba Inu, it's a joke, but dude, think about the asset, what it did. It crashed, it lost 98% of its value, and then after losing 98% of its value, it doesn't lose 100%, because there's still 2% of people that bought it that still own it, but then that's the bottom. And then it develops this massive Gartley. The only thing about it, it's interesting. Maybe it's working on absorbing remaining supply at the 1300 inflection point. We know this level. You break this level, you go to 1700, 1800 really fast. But you can't yet, but still elevated. Can't break that 200-day moving average. I get it, man. It's tough. But dang, dude, if you give it like, give me like 2 months. Let's see where this is in 2 months from now, because this is textbook bottoming behavior. I mean, this is a Gartley, man. It's 60% retrace on B, 786 on D. Textbook's beautiful. You had a nice markup off that completion zone. There is no bearish divergence. It's just bullish convergence. The oscillator's resetting. And if you could ever break 1300, I mean, this is like cycle reverse. I mean, there's at least trend reversing harmonic here, dude. That's the dream. This one, SNX, several others. Incredible, man. Let's think about stuff like OMG. Amisago, joke, dude. Who cares what it does? It doesn't do anything. All it does is be a chart, and we can identify bullish stuff. But hits a 113. It's a 113 shark. Hits the completion zone. Completion zone just happens to be a key inflection point from February 2020. You can't even make this up. Look how real this is. This is not a joke. This is so real. It's too believable, right? So from there, then all of a sudden, classic accumulation. The 3 rising valleys. It fell below its local range, but guess what? It broke back above 162. It jumped across the creek, broke a supply line, then gave us our 3rd valley, and then started running. But yeah, it's pulling back now, but just fine. That's fine, dude. Welcome to crypto, where you get 6% swings in a day, almost daily. Get over it. Guess what? Stock market's so liquid that happens on stocks everywhere now. So it's not like you can even escape it. You're gonna gold, silver was up 7%. You can't escape the insane crypto moves now. So it's like, I guess if you've been participating in crypto long enough, you've been prepared for these new market conditions we're in everywhere. But can you imagine boomers right now? 7% swing on gold. I don't want to deal with this, man. It's like, we were born in this market, right? We know all about this crappy volatility. But dude, as long as it stays above 162, $2 eventually, right? I mean, this is the setup for it. Flip the chart over, dude. Flip the chart. It's just been this unstoppable run. And then this all happens. That's beautiful to me. It's what you dream of, this type of stuff. No, if the SQs are going up 40%, that means the Nasdaq's probably going down 8%, 10%, right? Because 3-time levered, I would imagine, something like that. So 10% more downside. But the problem is, you can't even say that because there's decay ongoing on the SQs, 3-time levered ETN. So it probably isn't even that. You know, you have to factor that in. It's always got decay going, so it's hard to even gauge exactly. Hey man, we've been going, haven't we? Dang, almost 2-hour live stream. What happened? What are y'all doing? There are others though, like Tron. Look at this one, Tron, dude. It's not over yet. I mean, it was trying to break out last night. I got an alert. I'm like, what? But yeah, of course it reversed. But this is fine. It's rounding out here. I mean, buyers are really trying here to shift the momentum, and it has shifted. And you're still above that 200 there. Just pay attention to Tron, because if it can really keep doing what it's doing, eventually you're going back up to 7 cents again. And they really tried, and they failed. Now the bulls look like they're trying to retake control here. But it's pretty gorgeous, isn't it? Like kind of rounding structure. XMR had a massive breakout, if you didn't know. Wow, and look at the back test occurring as we speak. Monero, let me just show you here. 200-day moving average, hi. Testing the 200-day moving average for the first time since June. But look, man, 145 to 154 is so important here. Like, this goes back, dude. This goes way back. 2017, the first peak ever, right? When it hit 154 in August 2017. That's what you're doing. You've broken back above that level. Now you're trying to stay above it and hold it as support. Where, like, if you think about it, what happens? What happens to the price if it stays above this level? It goes straight up to 283. Look, up, down, down, up, down, up, down. And then look at this, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. I mean, that's where it's like the reasonable target is 283. If it holds above 154 long enough, if it can. It may not, right? It may need to go way further. It has not made an 886, I don't think. Maybe 786. Yeah, I mean, it's doing all the 786 stuff. You know, 886 would be 8368. That happens if Bitcoin collapses here, right? But if Bitcoin's not collapsing and actually starts showing a short-term reversal, I mean, this is insane. This, as you can see, the 200 moving average almost always regarded as resistance, or you can't stay above it long enough, man. Eventually, if you break that, dude. But yeah, it's still down sloping. It's not up sloping. Okay, so just pointing out, you had a kind of a massive breakout, a subtle, quiet, massive breakout on XMR on Friday. ENS, yikes, dude. ENS has been crazy, man. What an uptrend. What an uptrend. Ethereum name service. Looks like it might be coming down to test 1446 again. Or at least the demand line of the channel. But yeah, dude, this thing, like, it's crazy. I never used the Gaussian channel, but I started using it just for fun last night. I was like, oh, why not? Look at this thing. Look how incredible the Gaussian is here, man. Nothing in crypto looks like this. Nothing. Nothing where, like, you know, the Gaussian channel, you're skating above it, you're back testing it, holding as support, the inner band, like you're above that, you're trying to break it now. But everything, including Bitcoin, looks like this, just about. Where it's not really there yet. It's not giving us that, you know, it's down sloping still. It hasn't really reversed and turned, but, you know, the guppy, they call it. Things change, man, when this, you go green. You go green, man. Look at this. Look back here, 2018, 2019. What happened? You'd broken above the Gaussian, and then it starts turning, and you stay above it, and then it goes green. Oh my God, right? Like, now we'll be looking for similar stuff to this. Like, when will the Gaussian channel go green? If we stay elevated off the harmonic. So it's like a lot more work to be done. It's cool that we are above the inner band. Normally we're just, if we are above it long, we just fall right back below it. So at least we're there. I mean, my God, we're even testing the top of that, the outer band. Yeah, so I mean, this is something I'm gonna start paying attention to more and see if we can get, it's starting to try to pivot. It's gone flat, right? Show me when we go green again. Anyway, just fun stuff, man. Like, why not? So, look, man, if we're comparing this to Bitcoin from 2019, we're right at the sweet spot. We're right at the spot where it took us a while, right? It really did. It took us a little while. Like you're like right here, I guess. You're in this zone here. You know, it was after that initial pump. You know, it was like 50 days before another massive rally. So let us pay attention and see if Bitcoin can continue just trying to make these slightly higher lows if it can, right? And we've got to be paying attention to that because you bottomed out at the 886 on Bitcoin. Look like where we are now, but back here was 786. But let's see if we can get any kind of subtle higher low, even if it's barely, right? I mean, that big red day, holy crap, man. But these lows never went lower than the previous lows before it, right? February, March, and April 1st was the day. I'll never forget it. It was the day that the White Walkers came and we broke down we were the White Walkers, if you remember. We broke down the wall and we were gone, dude. And we took over all of Westeros. Easiest play of our lives. You see where we are? Now we look back at Bitcoin now and it's like, okay, we've broken the level sideways for 50 days. But if as long as we keep making higher lows locally and stuff, we got a chance. We got a chance, man. So look, dude, I've been live for 2 hours now. So thanks everyone for coming out. Appreciate it. Remember, I will be on Miss Teen Crypto's live stream tomorrow at 4 p.m. 4 p.m. Eastern. So again, I'm gonna post that right now, spamming it. Go hit the reminder, the bell, so like you get notified. I will be sure to ping everyone in my Discord when I go live too. So we'll just talk about charts and just random stuff that she wants to ask me. And yeah. So let's just keep our optimism cautious optimism, not bullish, cautiously optimistic. As long as we're above 19,891, as long as we've broken the supply line, as long as we make a higher low, whenever we make the low, we're okay right now. So don't be scared. There's some very good potential opportunities that have presented themselves in the past few weeks. So all we need is just the VIX to keep dumping, and then these trade setups will be able to play out. It'll set some targets and whatever. So thanks for coming out. So I'll just be back until next time. Respect the T. A.